One old number can make a sealed whiskey bottle feel suspicious. A forgotten gift bottle comes out from deep inside the cabinet. As the dust comes off, an old number appears on the edge of the label. The bottle is still sealed, but the doubt has already started. The story begins by following whether that number is a warning or a trace. That number points first to the bottling room. Whiskey leaves the cask and moves into the bottle. Bottles from the same run receive marks, so the batch can be traced later. The old number points closer to the filling moment than to the end of the whiskey. So the first thing to read is not how old the number is, but what it is doing. The 12 years on the front label can be confusing in the same way. That number is not the time the bottle spent in a cabinet. It is the time the whiskey spent inside oak. When several whiskeys are blended, the youngest one sets the age statement. So 12 years means flavor built for at least 12 years in cask. So if you keep a 12-year-old whiskey at home for 100 years, does it become 112 years old? This is where the story has to pause. The moment whiskey enters glass, maturation stops. The calendar keeps moving, but the 12 on the label stays 12. Time at home tests storage instead of adding maturation. Time inside an oak cask is not just waiting. Whiskey touches wood and moves slowly as the warehouse warms and cools. Color deepens, aroma builds, and rough edges soften along the way. Even the angel's share belongs to that change. Maturation is closer to an ongoing change inside the cask than to time alone. But once whiskey enters glass, the conditions change. There is no more wood giving color and aroma. There is no cask slowly shaping the spirit. The bottle mainly keeps a flavor that already exists. From that point, good storage means slowing unwanted change. With an unopened bottle, there is something to check before the old number. If the seal held and the bottle avoided heat and light, the flavor can remain fairly stable. But storing whiskey on its side like wine is the wrong habit. High-proof alcohol can affect aroma and flavor when it touches cork too long. Keeping the bottle upright and dark is a simple rule, but it matters. Opened whiskey does not spoil like food. But once the bottle opens, the story changes. Its aroma can slowly fade, and more empty space means more time facing air. It may seem softer at first, and then turn flat later. If only a little remains, move it to a smaller bottle, or do not leave it too long. At home, the problem usually looks ordinary. A gift bottle in a display cabinet may receive heat and light every day. A slightly loose cap or a bottle lying on its side can speed up change. The whiskey may not suddenly become undrinkable, but aroma and flavor can slowly drift. A dark place with steady temperature is better than the visible shelf. Some old bottles still sell for serious money, but the price did not rise because maturation continued in the bottle. A closed distillery bottle or a discontinued label cannot return in the same form. Buyers pay for a hard-to-find era and a limited number of surviving bottles. The value comes from scarcity, not from extra maturation after bottling. The confusion begins when two kinds of time are treated as one. One is maturation time that creates flavor inside oak. The other is storage time that decides how well flavor holds after bottling. Expiration anxiety grows when those two times feel like the same thing. The key is that maturation has stopped, but storage conditions still matter. Unopened whiskey has no fixed expiration date, like food. The first thing to check is not the date, but the way the bottle was stored. Heat, light, air, and cork problems can change the flavor. Instead of fearing an old number, first check how the bottle was kept. Protecting whiskey means managing the time after maturation has stopped.